It is currently 10:45 a.m. on February 23rd, my time. And I've already seen comments about the Demon Slayer to the Hashira Training World Tour event being a scam or a disappointment. I can't make this up. Y'all are scamming yourselves at this point. This is the second year this has happened. I don't know what to tell you if you are genuinely upset that it was recap. Okay, all jokes aside, I'm actually going to give y'all a fun fact that you might not know about the Japanese entertainment industry, specifically the anime industry. And I also like to say this a lot. If you're going to be a fan of media that is foreign, if you're a fan of anime, that means that means animation in Japanese. That means you are a fan of Japanese media, which is a foreign media. You need to do at least a tiny bit of research on the culture of the country that your favorite media comes from. If there's something that you just don't quite understand about the way they do things, maybe you need to understand that it's because it comes from a culture that is different from your own. From my perspective, I live in the US, and the Japanese culture is about as opposite as you can get from the US culture. Like, everything they do, we do differently. So I can understand that sometimes things might be a little bit weird because it's different. And that goes for the anime industry. So let me tell you a fun fact. Did you know that this has been happening for a while? This is super common in Japan, but tons of animes get early releases in theaters before they start airing on TV to build up hype. It is very commonly done, and in fact, with Demon Slayer, it's been done since technically before the anime started. I like to converse a lot with Japanese people on Twitter specifically because a lot of them are learning English, and then I like to practice my Japanese a little bit, and it's fun to make friends from different cultures. And one of them specifically called out something today that I wanted to talk about. They said that they have been doing this with Demon Slayer. They literally released the first 5 episodes in theaters of season 1 before the anime started. They came out, I believe they said in February, and then the anime started in April. That's right. They released an early release of a few episodes in theaters that was not a movie. It was just an early release of a few episodes before the anime actually started. They did not do that with Mugen Train, but Mugen Train started out as a movie, so they just released it in theaters when it was ready. And then they did the same thing before Entertainment District. They played the season finale of Mugen Train with Set Your Heart Ablaze, and then they played, I think, the first 2 episodes of Entertainment District. I don't know the exact details, I just know that this happened. They've been doing this from the start. And then at the end of Entertainment District and the beginning of Swordsmith Village, they looked at the fact that Demon Slayer had become just such a popular show around the world that they said, hey, we've been doing this in Japan. Why don't we let our international fans see it too? Why don't we let them get to experience it in the movie theaters? Why don't we let them get to see the first episode early released a few months before it comes out? And then it does happen. And all you guys can do is scream scam and blame them that you did not do any research on anything. This is just something that they do. They've been doing, and they were like, let's give it to American fans. Let's give it to Canadian fans. Let's give it to European fans. Let's give it to everyone so that they can all experience it too. And all we do is complain about it. It's so stupid. You guys need to understand that you're being embarrassing because they don't understand that other cultures maybe don't do things the way they do. And yes, they do a little bit of research themselves as well. When they do these special events with the voice actors, they make it a world tour. They make it a red carpet event where they're talking to media, and they don't really do that in Japan. They're catering to us and our culture so that we can have fun with it. And yet all we do is stomp all over it. So just remember, the next time you go into one of these events without knowing anything and you want to complain because it wasn't what you expected, think about the fact that this is Japanese made and that maybe, just maybe, they did things the way they thought that it would work, not knowing that these other countries were going to be so loud and weird about it. And they're just trying to be nice to us. They literally are like, hey, we've been doing this in Japan. Why don't we let everyone see it? And you guys are like, thank you for the gift. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Like, you're stupid. Okay, that was harsh. But, at this point, I don't even care about filtering my thoughts. Because This is all I'm going to say about it. If you are going to call it a scam, if you are going to call it a disappointment because you didn't do your own research on it, you need to understand that you scammed yourself and that you only disappointed yourself because you did not do any research leading up to it. You do not have to watch the trailer if you Google it. You are not going to get spoiled if you Google what is the Demon Slayer World Tour. If you are on TikTok, if you are on Instagram, if you are on YouTube, you have Google. You have access to Google. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. The only excuse is yourself and your own inability to do any research before you do something. You cannot blame it on anything else but yourself. Okay? All right. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Remember to do some research on things that are not from your own culture. Okay? All right. Bye.